Hello students, as you know, we have started law and order topic. Today I will complete it. This topic is very important wheresoever BPSC is concerned. Every year they ask question from this topic. Last time there was question on law and order, particularly linking it with sustainable development. This year we are also expecting question from this topic. And in general study also this topic can be of great significance. Particularly if you go to interview, you are from Bihar, there can be question that what is situation of law and order in Bihar? What measure you will suggest to make effective law and order in Bihar? What is hierarchy of police organization in Bihar? Such type of question usually asked in an interview. As I told, law and order is very important topic. You can say it's one of the few very important function of public administration. When public administration was performing limited number of functions, law and order was important function. And now when it is performing more than 2000 functions, law and order is still important. I told it is basically symbol of all is well situation. If law and order is good, means your performance of governance is good. Then only you can expect development, you can expect consistent and sustainable development. Effective governance, your credibility will increase, your rapport will increase, your market value will enhance. So only this thing depends only on maintenance of law and order. It has been right from beginning a subject of local importance. That's why during British rule it was considered under sub-state provincial list. Indian Police Act 1861 makes that law and order is provincial subject and it is district level. It is maintained by district collector and SP assist him in maintaining law and order. Getting point? And apex level there is IG of police. Getting point? And through this act, military function and police functions were also separated. Getting point? The Indian Police Act 1861, you can say, is the basic law or basic foundation on which law and order administration in the state is working. Getting point? As I told, India is basically quasi-federal, means definitely structure-wise it is federal, but there is dominance of unitary feature. That's why it is called quasi-federal. And in law and order situation also, we find the same situation. Means there is dominance of unitary feature, our federal structure. Here I try to point out one diagram through which I try to show that how law and order is virtually a concurrent subject. It's not basically provincial subject. At a central level, there is Ministry of Home Affairs, under which there are several agencies concerned with different functions, assisting helping states in maintaining law and order. So Central Intelligence Agency like IB, RAW, then Central Police Organization like Bureau of Police Research and Development, then Central Police Forces like paramilitary forces, CRPF, BSF, etc. Then Central Investigative Agency like NIA, CBI, etc. assist, help, and provide support to a state in maintaining law and order. At a state level, law and order is actually maintained, and Home Department of state government is particularly responsible for maintaining law and order. So there may be politically Home Minister or ultimately Chief Minister is responsible for law and order of a state. Getting point? Home Ministry is basically administratively headed by Home Secretary, and it has one very important executive department that is called Police Department, and Police Department is headed by DGP. It is particularly responsible for maintaining law and order in state and accountable to Home Department. Getting point? Indian Police Act 1861, Indian Penal Code 1861, CRPC 1973, Indian Evidence Act and other acts all are one way or other way influencing, get a point, in maintaining law and order situation in state. But Indian Police Act 1861 is very important in this regard. Get a point? I told at state level there is DGP, which is responsible for overall law and order situation in the state. To assist him, there may be number of ADGP, Additional Director General of Police. Getting point? State is divided into various zones headed by IGP. Zones are further divided into range headed by DIG. Ranges are further divided into district, which is headed by SP. In big district it is called SSP and otherwise it is called SP. Get a point? Districts are further divided into subdivision headed by SDPO. It can be either ASP or DSP. Subdivision is further divided into various circles headed by circle inspector. Getting a point? And circle is divided into various police stations. Getting a point? So police station, you can say, is a cut-edge point of police administration. Cut-edge point is basically soft floor level where actually law and order situation is maintained. It is headed by officer in charge or SHO, station house officer. Getting a point? It is in big city headed by circle inspector, and a small city, a town, it is headed by sub-inspector, particularly rural areas. There are a number of official or person working at the police station level, like sub-inspector, ASI, assistant sub-inspector, head constable, constable. In some state there is assistant constable also. Get a point? There is actually law and order is maintained in this level. District level, DM or SP supervises in maintaining law and order. And apex level, there is Home Secretary, DGP. Ultimately, DGP is responsible for maintaining law and order. So SP is having dual control here. On the one hand, through Indian Police Act 1861, SP is responsible to a collector, get a point, and through one more accountability to him, he is accountable to DGP through departmental line. So here there can be dual control. One control through DM and other control through IG, DIG, etc. Get a point? So virtually law and order is maintained by collector and not only police, but there are other agencies also provide support to it, like you can say SP, like you can say court, then you can say prison, then you can say reformatory, then you can say wireless, then intelligence agency. They all support DM in maintaining law and order. Get a point? Sometimes there was question, particularly in BPSC. Once there was question in BPSC, question was discuss hierarchy of police organization at district level. Get a point? And other thing was that you have to discuss relation between DM and SP. The question was asked in 47 BPSC. Question was discuss the police organization at district level in Bihar. Examine the causes of tension between SP and collector in district. This was question. So here at district level there is SP. District is divided into subdivision. There is ASP, DSP, then circle inspector, then SHO. In Bihar it is called officer in charge, then sub-inspector, assistant sub-inspector, head constable and constable. You have to discuss all these things in this question, and also you have to point out why there is tension between DM and SP wherever law and order is concerned. You know, historically, it was made provision that at district level, DM will be made responsible for maintaining law and order. Reason was, it was colonial regime and it was mainly concerned with maintaining effective control over field officers, and DM was chief, you can say, key person at district level in maintaining law and order and entire administration. So through him, the British administration was supposed to exercise effective control over all other subordinate agencies. So this was working for a long period even after independence. That time, IAS and IPS were two different examination criteria were also different, marks were also different. Usually, DM were appointed from ICS, later on he became IS, and SP through IP or IPS, get a point. But in 1978 onwards, on the recommendation of Kothari Committee, there was common examination. There was, you can say, just difference, few marks difference, which caused to make someone IS and someone IPS. So afterwards, situation changed, and now the SP started asking they should not, they don't want to continue under subordination of DM. They required to get separated from DM control, particularly in some commissariat system of policing, where law and order is basically withdrawn from collector and given to police director. Such as in Delhi, you find there is police commissioner system. In other part of country also, particularly all metropolitan cities, DM is divided of law and order, and police is made responsible for law and order. So this situation continues. That's why there is some sort of confusion or some sort of tension between DM and SP with regard to law and order, and they both both give argument in their own favor and consider that law and order should be given to them. Why DM consider law and order should be retained with him? He says that it has a historical legacy. It throughout history in past also, he was responsible for law and order, and presently also there is no changes. So he can manage. He is already doing work very effectively. So what is use of changing it? Let it continue. Number two, he told that law and order is not basically cause, it is basically effect. Cause can be very vigorous and cause can be deep rooted in other part of society. So to have effective law and order, you require broad approach, which is possible only through DM approach. Number three, Indian administration is area-based administration. Get a point? In which DM is key functionary, so he is in better position to maintain law and order. Number four, DM is exercise control over welfare administration, development administration. Then why not our police administration? Getting point? Next, at district level, for betterment of coordination and integration, it is rational to keep law and order under DM also. Getting point? So these are some reasons responsible for continuing law and order under DM. But on the other hand, SP also gave the argument in his favor. He tells that law and order is changed situation now. And in 1861, situation was different. But after independence, particularly presently, situation become quite complicated. So DM is not in position to manage the change scenario. Number two, law and order become specialized. Law and order become professionalism. So it requires a professional treatment. Number three, DM is overburdened and it does not give justice to law and order. Number four, sometimes lack of coordination between DM and SP leads to ill consequences. Number fifth, in other towns, particularly in metropolitan city where there is commissariat system, where law and order is divided from collector and given to police, doing very well. So why not it should be elaborated to extended to other districts of India. So these are arguments given by SP and DM both. And in conclusion, we can say it is up to policymaker to decide. All Administrative Reform Commission have gave recommendation to study the Indian Police Act 1861 and to give suitable measures. Getting a point? So this is the thing. So presently, law and order is maintained by DM at district level and DSP with the district police forces, the court, prison, you can say, then intelligence agency, wireless, all support in maintaining law and order. In a district, there is home guard, there is military force, state military police also like BMP, also support DM in maintaining law and order. Sometimes there is some, in Bihar there is a special police arms constabulary SAP, a special police auxiliary police, which is consisted of retired army personnel, is also supposed to provide help to him. Then there is a specific Mahila battalion. There is, you can say, traffic police. Getting a point? They also support maintaining law and order. There is ATS to combat against Naxalism. Getting a point? Paramilitary forces are also deployed in maintaining law and order as per requirement. Getting a point? So these are usual mechanisms. In general, DM maintains law and order with the help of district police, home guard, Bihar military police, Mahila battalion, then ATS, then you can say special auxiliary police, etc. and sometimes with paramilitary forces also. But when situation become out of control and DM is not in position to control them, then army is called upon. When army comes, he takes charge of entire admission itself. It doesn't work under DM. It works directly under his own command. That's since army is for a particular different purpose, and it is suggested that it should not be used in public purposes. That's why in very rare conditions, situation army is invited. Otherwise, in general, law and order is maintained by paramilitary forces, particularly with the help of CRPF, ITBP, etc. whatsoever situation arises. Get a point? Particularly if you see in Jammu Kashmir, law and order is maintained by which one? Jammu Kashmir Police, CRPF and Army, all maintaining. There is sometimes Seema Suraksha Bal is also there, and other police, ITBP also deployed there to maintain law and order. Get a point? But at the core level, there is police. Police is basically synonymous of law and order. When you talk of law and order, we talk of police. Police, that term is derived from the Latin word politia, Politia. Politia means an integral organ of state in maintaining law and order. Getting point? It is an important department of state government. Under its soldier, there is responsibility of maintaining law and order. It is axis through which the rule of law rotates. It is axis through which the peaceful and fearless life rotates. Through police, that is very important. Police is basically has its own organization. Its basic unit is basically the inspector, police station, and apex level there is police headquarters headed by DGP. Get a point? What is role of police? There can be variation, but in general, police performs 4 types of role: political role, administrative role, economic role, and social role. Political role means in discharging or political responsibility, police assist political system in discharging this responsibility. Whereas administrative role is concerned, it assists other government and departments in performing their duty. At a point, as social role, it maintains peace and harmony in society. It resolves dispute and other tussle tension. And economic disparity, it addresses, you can say, it supports market, industry, get up and economic activity to survive and sustain. In absence of law and order, they cannot work effectively. So police provides basic law and order situation in which political system work effectively, other government departments perform their duty effectively, markets, private sectors all perform their duty effectively. There is peace and harmony in society. So this is the thing. So basically, it is very important organization on which the rule of law rotates. Getting point? It is a very important thing. What is function of policing? It varies from time to time. Getting point? Indian Police Act 1861 defines police function under following six heads. First, to obey and execute all orders and warrants whatsoever given by competent authority. Number two, communicate to collect and communicate intelligence. Number three, to prevent the commission of offense. Number four, to detect and bring offenders to justice. Number five, to apprehend all persons getting a point whom it is legally authorized to apprehend. Getting a point? And to enter and inspect any alcohol shop, gambling house, etc., where law and order is supposed to be an important issue. You have six functions. First, to execute. Number two, to collect intelligence. Number three, to prevent crime. Number four, to investigate crime. Number five, to apprehend all persons concerned. And number six, to inspect alcohol shop and gambling house, etc. Getting the point? Second, ARC has also given recommendation with regard to functioning of state police. First function, it has pointed out prevention of crime. Number two, investigation of crime. Number three, maintenance of public order. Number four, assistance in criminal trials. And number fifth is providing security to vital installation and important persons. And number six, service-oriented functions like conducting election, conducting relief work during natural disaster and man-made disaster, traffic control, then undertaking relief and caution work, particularly in corona, etc. So this is the basic situation where police is supposed to perform function. Getting a point? So, Indian police is, you can say, oldest organization, and its present format is basically contribution of British rule to India. And British established police for their own purposes, to maintain law and order, to maintain colonial legacy of our country, colonial interest. But after independence, situation changed. But the British rule regulation still continue. That's why Indian police find itself in very paradoxical situation. The administrative reform, what was supposed to take place after independence, could not take place. That's why police is always targeted. You might have seen earlier, very much in trouble. Jamia case, JNU case, High Court lawyer case, Delhi riot case, everywhere police is under target. Police should do this one, police should have this one. The police is under very distress, I tell you, having too much responsibility as compared to responsible authority is less, too much political interference, lack of resources, lack of, you can say, modernity. These are certain limitations which cause police to function under difficult situation. I don't mean that there has not been any reform after independence. There may be thrust to have very significant reform, but implementation was problem. In 1971 there was Gore Committee for Training. Then NPC under Dharamveer, National Police Commission, was established under chairman of Dharamveer. That was a very elaborate one. It has given very valuable recommendation. In 1992, the Vairo Committee, 2002, Padma Bhaiya Committee, 2004, Soli Sarabji Committee, 2006, Second ARC, 2006, Supreme Court Directives, and Malimat Committee. Number of committees, I tell you, that there have been established after independence, and in which the National Police Commission was based, and the most important one. It has given several major recommendations. Get your point? But ironically, you can say its recommendations were not taken seriously, because this commission was established by Janata Party government, and when the government changed, this recommendation was dropped in, you can say, cold storage. UP police head, the police chief Prakash Singh, getting point, filed then he public PIL in Supreme Court for implementation of recommendation of NPC in 2006, and then Supreme Court gave 7 point, you can say, directive for all states and central government to implement, you can say, recommendation of National Police Commission in 1 year. It has recommended it to constitute a state security commission in every state. It also recommended that there should be appointment of DGP on merit basis, and at least his minimum his tenure should be 2 years. And it has given recommendation to make tenure of all police officers at least 2 years in a posting. It suggested or recommended it to separate investigation from law and order. Then it also suggested to establish or to constitute a police establishment board under chairmanship of state chief secretary. There should be a police complaint authority also to address public grievances against police. Then there should be National Security Commission for Central Police Organization, and the tenure should also be for 2 years. So these were 7 directives given by Supreme Court on the PIL filed by Prakash Singh. But no state government took very seriously, except few. In Bihar, in 2007, when Bihar enacted its own law act, getting point, that is called Bihar Police Act 2007. Getting point, Bihar tried to change the British law with regard to law and order, and try to give it some sort of human look to in Bihar police, to modernize it, and you can say to give it effective one. It has, you can say, one preamble in this act, and there are 10 chapters, and you can say 97 articles. Getting point? And major articles are taken from, you can say, the Police Model Act formulated by Soli Sorabji. Soli Sorabji committee was constituted by, you can say this one, Atal Bihari Vajpayee government. Getting point? So, and its responsibility was to replace Indian Police Act 1861 by new act. Since the government changed, so its recommendation also got elapsed or collapsed. Getting point? So in 2007, as I told, Bihar government enacted Bihar Police Act 2007. Getting point? It has, I told, 97, you can say, articles, 10 chapters, and 1 preamble. 83 articles are taken from the Police Model Act prepared by Soli Sorabji. 3 acts it has added from its own side. Some of its recommendation of some of the provision of this act as there should be separate new police station for atrocity against SC/ST. Number 2, there should be separate communication system for police organization. There should be a specific organization, a specific arrangement for, you can say, human rights and its violation matters. Then it has given a specific responsibility to police for senior citizens, children, women, and poor section of society. It has also defined role of police during crisis. It has also defined, in elaborate sense, the responsibility of DGP. It has also given ministerial power to DGP. Getting point? And given a power to give 15-day imprisonment to a constable or police personnel in case of indiscipline matters. It has also defined role of SP. It has given clear-cut guideline for complaint also, how they should approach police for getting grievances redress. It suggested that constable to inspector, the tenure should be 6 years at most, and in a zone 10 years at most. Getting point? It has also made recommendation a provision for separate desks for women and children in every police station. Getting point? So these are some important recommendations or provision made by in Bihar Police Act 2007, and maximum provisions are now in operation. Now in Bihar, law and order, policing activity and investigating activity are separated. There are separate hierarchy for that. Get a point? There is separate police station for SC/ST also. Get a point? So these are some arrangements taken by police. Get a point? But at national level, I tell you, still what the expectation was not fulfilled, and police reform is still misnomer. You can say nightmare situation. When Modi government came to power, it found that law and order situation is very important. Unless until there is law and order effectively maintained, you cannot give guarantee of peaceful and harmonious life. Particularly if you talk of Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, or Naxal affected states, district where law and order is equally very important. That's why in 2017 it has brought umbrella scheme for modernization of police. Getting point? In which it has given following points to be addressed. First, Model Police Act 2017 should be operated. There should be constitution of task force under Ministry of Home Affairs to modernize police. The participation or representation of women in police force must be expanded. Then there should be common nationwide emergency contact number for police. Then integrate Lokpal and Prevention of Corruption Act into police reform. Then there should be transfer and posting of police in more transparent and open manner. Getting point? Then there should be introduction of remodeled training model for police personnel. There should be e-platform that will provide certification of security personnel. There should be some reform in FIR system, first information report system. There should be separate cadre for cyber crime. There should be a panel for experts in training and capacity building of personnel, a technology center for identifying suitable technology for police innovation, then a separate national cyber security division. These are different dimensions under umbrella scheme to modernize police. First I told model police. First I told Model Police Act 2015 to be operated. Number 2, task force under Ministry of Home Affairs to modernize police. Greater participation of women in police. Next, common national-wide emergency contact number for police. Then integrate Lokpal and Prevention of Corruption Act to police reform. Transfer and posting in transparent way. Then introduction of remodeled training models for police personnel for training. E-platform for certification of security personnel. Reform of FIR system. Then separate cadre for cyber crime. A panel of experts for training and capacity building of personnel. And technology center for identifying suitable technology for upgradation of police administration, and separate national crime cyber security division to look after security cyber matters. Getting point? So these are the security measures or innovation measures undertaken under umbrella scheme to modernize police. In recent, police is still working, and it suggested following some important recommendation also, like there should be change in IPC and CRPC, because these acts were British Act having British objective. Now situation changed and they are required to change. There should be a police university to take care of police modernization war. There should be prison reform to make prisoner effective, to get prisoners reform. So there should be prison reform. And there should be, you can say, police reform should be 4 steps ahead of criminals, you can say, mind. So this should be also thing in mind, that whatsoever criminal do, we should take care of preventive measures in advance, so that we should prevent its reoccurrence. So this thing we require to be time. So now this government is very serious wheresoever modernity of police is concerned, or you can say wheresoever law and order reorganization is concerned. So the government is very seriously working on it, and in future you may find definitely there will be significant changes under this situation. Getting point? So I do hope that you notice, you try to write 1 or 2 questions about this topic and post to me. If question comes, what are law and order situations problem here, then you can say there can be number of problem in law and order. Some social problem, some political problem, some economic problem, some administrative problem, some external problem in Bihar, particularly political problems, political criminalization, etc. And large number of criminal in political system. Number 2, administrative problem, corruption, lack of modernization, etc. Economic problem, you can say the black money, cyber crime, economic offenses, etc. Social problem, casteism, communalism, regionalism, etc. External problem, infiltration, fake currency, fake news, etc. So these are something we require to, and modernization measures. These measures you are required to upgrade your social system, administrative system to a level, and reform police to make competent enough to manage the situation effectively. So I do hope you will in position to address the situation. You consult some books or articles. You can see internet also. Then you can listen my lecture twice or thrice and then try to write answer. Okay, all the best. Enjoy.